Well, welcome back to YouTube, episode 37. Maybe I should call this the Spotlight Edition, but I won't. In this episode, we're going to build a kitchen. We're going to talk about a major electrical meltdown. We're going to talk about something else that broke. And there's one more thing, and I can't remember it, but I'll probably get to it and let you know as we go through the video. But I just wanted to say we're going to build a kitchen, so let's not talk about it. Let's get her done. Alright, so let's talk about that major electrical meltdown. So yours truly forgot to, or missed, tightening up a ground connection on a fuse block. And as a result, all of my networking and security and everything went off the air. I had no idea at the time. I started troubleshooting it. And one of the things that I saw was that the connection to the ground to the fuse block was glowing red. So what I want to do is I want to show you what that looks like. So there is the fuse block right there. And as you can see, it had a major meltdown. So I ordered another one. Everything was offline for about a week. Ordered another one and I got it in there, and it's actually running, and I made sure that everything was connected and tightened down. One of the things that I like to do is constantly check the temperature of the fuse block, and it is 68 degrees. And this one is 67. This one had no issues, but this one, that ground connection right there where you see the laser pointing on it right there. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it in the GoPro, but it was glowing red. Glowing red. So I ordered a new fuse block, disconnected everything, turned it off, and I got that connected. So next thing I want to do is talk about the thing that I forgot in the intro, which was my security system update. So one of the things that I've done, as you can see, my cameras are telling me they're recording me, and they tell me that every 30 seconds. But everything has been working. I put in those 5-volt regulators. I have not had any issues with them since. I have had my bus, the 12-volt system, on shore power for about 3 weeks, trying to keep the batteries at their highest possible voltage. To see if anything fails, anything has any issues, and so far I have not had any issues. So it could have been a power issue, but at this point my security system is stable. I haven't had any more failures, and that makes me happy. So now let's go talk about the next thing that broke. So the next thing that broke is this right here. This is the power wire to my remote monitor from my battery monitor system for my Rodeo batteries, or Rodeo, whatever they call them. The power and ground wire both came out of the connector. So this thing doesn't work. I've reached out to support, have yet to get a solution. Hopefully, based on what they said, I should have an answer tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. By the way, this is Sunday, November the 23rd, and it is just after 5 o'clock, and I'm running through trying to give you a video. So there's one of the things that broke. So I've gone through meltdown, I've gone through something that broke, and now we're going to build a kitchen. So let's start talking about that. So in order to talk about building the kitchen, I need to run through all of the things that I've been doing over the past 11 days to get to the point where I'm actually in a position where I can start putting this together final. So one of the first things that I had to do was create a positive means of securing my countertop to the cabinets. That's where you see all of these brackets that I have installed all over the place. They are set. I've already tested it. I will use 3/4 inch screws that will come in underneath and pull the cabinet down. If you notice, they're a little bit off of flush. I did that on purpose so that they would pull them down very tightly. So that's one of the things that I've done. Before I put my countertop in, the other thing that I want to do is I want to add my water monitoring system. The actual hub will plug in right here with my filter system, and I'll have a water leak monitoring alarm system throughout the bus in key locations where I need to have that. I'll have some down there by the tanks, some underneath the filters. I'll put some over here in this area to make sure that I can know if I have a leak. Notice on this side I've also got those angle brackets in key locations to help me secure my countertop down to the cabinets without issue. One of the other things that I did and I had to do was I put in a porthole window over the stove. I did that for ventilation, I did that for aesthetics, I did it for looks. That was quite a challenge. It was a lot of fun. In typical fashion, I built my cabinet, and then I put the hole in the cabinet, and then went outside and drilled the hole, or cut the hole in the sheet metal and got it in. It is installed, it is final. I actually finished the installation of that last night at about 9 o'clock. So got that all in, got it all sealed. It is good to go. I've got butyl tape underneath the outside ring. I've got the OSI quad black sealant all the way around this between the sheet metal of the outside and the plywood so that no water gets in there. Everything's sealed, everything's cool, it's ready to go. See if I can get this open. And it makes me happy because one of the things that I noticed is that I did not have any visual light or ventilation or anything in the area of the stove, so there's the outside, y'all. There we go, goes right through the portal. So got that in place, got that done. Wasn't really all that bad, but drilling that round hole or cutting that round hole with the jigsaw was a lot of fun. I will tell you that. So that's one of the other things that I've been doing over the past 11 days. And now I need to move on, and I just got to get this tightened down. I don't want any leaks. So the next thing that I want to show you is I got some cabinet doors, guys. One of the things that I did, if you remember in the last video, none of this was finished. Actually, I've got the end walls finished. I've got my trim up. I got my plug and cover plate on. Everything back here is done. Come over here to this side, and I've got the same thing done on this side. So all of that is done. Everything is stained. Everything is finished. The only thing that I have not done is sealed it. So here's my door. I've got my concealed hinges there. I had to do some very creative engineering to get these to work because I did not do it right. So I had to modify everything. I had to cut quite a bit off my doors to get them to work. One of the other things, this is my water heater cabinet. So I created this little shelf right here on the door to take advantage of the open space in there to give me some extra storage in there. And provide me the ability to have some storage under there where the water heater is. Here is my where my stove goes. One of the things I want to point out, I had to add these two runners right here because they go underneath the stove. One of the things that I noticed was that the trim on the top of the stove was bowing up, and that's because all of the weight was on that trim. And in verifying my measurements and stuff, I realized when I built the cabinet and did everything that I did, I forgot to account for the thickness of the cabinet, the countertop. So I added those 3/4 runners, and there's runners underneath the stove that actually sit on those and slide back and actually support the weight. So got that taken care of. Some other things that I've done, if you look back here, on my equipment cabinets, I got all my doors in place. Excuse me, got them all hinged. So here is the battery compartment. So I had to add these runners right here because this door was bowed, and I needed to get it straight. Unfortunately, I don't have my handle, so this one folds out like this, and I can see inside my equipment cabinet right there. Let me put a little light on the subject, and you can see inside of there. So that one goes right there. Open this one up, and then come over here to this one. This one opens up to the top. I will put a means to secure this, but there's inside the equipment cabinet there. So I've got some little barrel bolts that I'm going to use to positively secure these doors and make sure that they don't go anywhere. Obviously, you already knew that I did this one. I did this one quite some time ago, but the other thing that I did was I created this door for my battery compartment. So I put these little latches on them. I got one on each end. Open it up. Boom. There is my batteries. There's my battery compartment. I put this compressible foam on the front. I put this so that it actually presses up against the batteries and holds them in place so that they don't move inside that compartment. And there is a little bit of tension, but not much, but it will hold them in place. And speaking of which, there will be an update coming down the road with regard to my 12-volt system and battery. So I'll get to that when I get there. I've added and put in my trim on this side. This side will look the exact same way, but I've got to dress this up and fix a bunch of stuff over here that is still challenging me, and I haven't quite got to it yet, but I will now that I'm getting ready to finish building out the kitchen. So at this point, that's where I'm at. I think we're going to start putting in some countertops, and we're going to start getting everything in place. I've got to put the countertop in, clamp it down, make sure it is exactly where it needs to be, and then come in from underneath, start drilling a bunch of screws. So when I get to that point, I'll put it on time lapse, and we'll watch the countertops go in, guys. All right, guys, so I'm getting ready to put the first countertop in. By the way, the laminate is already installed in the live edge. I did that last week as well. You'll see what that looks like once I get it in. Just to give you a rundown on what you're going to see, because I'm going to put this on time lapse. I'm going to bring the countertop in. I'm going to set it in place. You'll see me do some clamping to make sure that it's positively affixed to where it needs to be. And then I will go underneath and come through the bottom of the cabinet and screw the countertop down. And once I get done with that, I will come off time lapse and we'll walk through everything and show you what it looks like. Didn't take too long, but one countertop is in. It is final, it is secure, it is solid, it is stable, it is not going anywhere. Everything worked the way I had. I had one rogue screw that's creating a problem. I'll have to go back and take care of that. I got to put the live edge on the front of it all the way around. came out really nicely. I'm really happy with it. I do need to do some dress up work on it. I've already done that to the other side, but this countertop is in. Stove goes right here. I've got some backsplash that I will be putting in. See that mark right there? And that mark right there, I'm going to have a laminate backsplash that's going to go across the entire window and come up to 21 inches high. That's 24 right there. Then I'm going to have a 6-inch backsplash that's going to come across to the corner, and then another 6-inch that's going to come out to here. And I've got a idea on how I'm going to make that work, and I'll show you when I get to that. It won't be today, but hopefully I can get the backsplash in real soon. So now that I have this countertop, I think it's time for me to move on to the other side. So I'm going to go back on to time-lapse, put the countertop in on the other side, and show you how it works. This one is in. It is solid. One of the things that I realized because of the microwave cabinet and stuff, by the way, the microwave is screwed in, it's secure, it's positive. I do want to point out one thing that I had to do here. Just see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you look right there, you can see that I had to notch out my 3/4 inch face to go around the microwave to allow it to go all the way back against the wall the way that it needed to be. That was fun, but I got her done. Microwave is screwed in. It's secure. It is solid. I've got screws in all 4 corners, not coming out. Cord's coming through, and it's plugged in. I could turn on the breaker and set the time. I won't do that yet. One of the things that I did notice though is that on this outside edge right here, I have a little bit of flex, so I'm going to come in underneath back here and put a bracket or two to hold this down positively so that it doesn't come up. All of this tape that you see right here, this is the outline of my sink, and I put this here because what I need to do is I need to run some silicone around the outside edge of the sink. There are no under cabinet mounting capabilities for this sink. It is gravity. So I am going to put a generous bead of silicone all the way around this thing, and then put the sink in, and then clamp it down and let that seal and secure and tighten it up so that it doesn't go anywhere. But both my countertops are in. So at this point, I'm going to move on. I'm going to put it on time lapse and go into something else that I've got done. And then after I get it installed, I'll come back and talk about it. Alright, so got my microwave in, I got all my drawers in. That's one of the other things that I did over the past week was I built all my drawers, made all the face frames, got everything set up. One of the things that I have on this side is I have soft close side mount hinges or rails, and they work really well. There is a little bit of resistance on these, and they're a little bit tight to open, which is good because this is a bus, not a house. And soft close is a little bit not working, but I know why. And it is because this cabinet is not completely square, and so they're in a bind in the back side of the drawers. But that works out well because I don't have to worry about them sliding open because they are really tight in there. So that's good. This side, I've got these undermount rails, and I'm getting rid of those. I hate them. They don't work. They're not very good. And I'm going to get rid of those and replace them. These came in today, which is why I got such a late start. I went ahead and got those in and got those in place. But as you can see, there's a lot of slop in the drawers. I don't like it. And so I am going to replace every single one of those and get the same thing I have on this side. These won't be in until a week from Monday, so I'll have to come back and fix that. Hopefully I can fix things like this right here where you see it's really tight on this side, loose on this side. That's the slop in those rails, and I don't like it. This one's solid, but for some reason this one's not. One of the other things that I had to do, if you look at this one right here, I don't know if you can see the motion of my hand. I actually had to cut off about 3/8 of an inch off the top of this drawer to get it to go in for the spacing and stuff. You can see right here, there's a little bit of a mismatch. This is where my saw blade came across the front. I did all of this before I had the face frames on, but cut it across, and for some reason it came in really deep on this side, but had to cut off just to be able to get that drawer in. And now there's a little bit of a space across the top here, but from up above you can't see it, so I don't care. But I got my drawers on both sides. Microwave is permanently mounted. Next step is get the stove in, make it permanent, because this is permanent now. Make the stove permanent, and make the sink permanent, and I'll have a kitchen. So all I got to do right now is get some handles on my drawers, handles on my doors, and we'll be close to being finished on here. I hope you like it. We'll be back soon with the next phase of building this kitchen. All right, I'm back. I got my stove in. So one of the things that I forgot to show you earlier when I did the countertop is that I added some 1x2s vertically across all three sides right here to give me the ability to actually provide the mounting screws that go in this way. I've also put mounting screws here so the stove is mounted permanently. If I open it up, the other thing that I've done is I have connected power and butane. It is working. Everything is on. Everything is working. So I've got power, I've got butane. I did my leak checks. My propane detector is on back there, and it's detecting if anything is leaking, and there's no alarm, so everything is good there. So the stove is in, it's permanent, it's final, it's ready to rock and roll. Microwave is in, I've already talked about that. One of the other things that I want to share is exactly how I'm going to do my backsplash. So as you can see right here, I've got a panel right here. I've tried to match the grain with the countertop so that it flows. It was really difficult because of the way that I had to pull it together, but I've got a piece right here. So the way that this is going to work is I'm going to put the contact cement on this. I am going to put the contact cement on the Formica, and once it sets, I'm going to come in here and actually staple the paneling to the wall where it needs to be, and then I'm going to apply the laminate to that panel. I am not going to try to apply contact cement to surfaces inside the bus. So I'm hoping it'll work. The way that I have it envisioned is that I will put contact cement on the panel, contact cement on the laminate, staple the paneling in place, and then apply the laminate to it. And then after the fact, I will come back in and trim and seal and all of that kind of stuff. But that's what I'll do there. This is over my porthole window. I will route this out once I get it installed. I want to make sure that everything is nice and pretty and clean and all of that kind of stuff. I'll have to check because, as you can see, this seems to be going over a little bit right here. So I'll maybe have to cut that, but I want to make sure that it's all working and all set to go. These are my wires that are providing AC electrical. I'll also have some 12-volt wires coming up through here as well. I'm going to put something over the top of it to protect it. I've got something planned for this entire area. This mark right here represents the bottom of my overhead cabinets. So from here up will be overhead cabinets out by a foot. So I'll have overhead cabinets over my countertops in this area as well. I'm going to do something really different right here. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I've got some ideas in my head, and that's what I'm going to do. So stove is in, stove is final, stove is powered. So is the propane detector. It lights, it's ready. Microwave is in. So at this point, I am going to put it on time lapse. And we are going to get the sink installed. Like I said earlier, I'm going to put some silicone around the outside edge so that it seals up tightly. I've got an interesting idea that I want to try to compress that, because as I said, there is absolutely no way to positively mount the sink. So gravity is the only thing that holds it in. So I'm going to use silicone as a glue and seal it so that nothing gets underneath it and drops down inside the cabinet. And that's where I'm going next. So we're going to get a sink installed. By the way, I do have the faucet installed on it. You'll see it as I run through the time lapse. And I'll explain it after I get everything done. So with that said, let's go to time lapse and let's get a sink in. Got my sink in. I think I broke one of my clamps, but I came up with the idea of using these clamps to put some downward pressure on the sink to compress the hell out of it. Make sure I got a good seal. It takes a good 24 hours for this stuff to cure. When it cures, it dries clear. As you can see, I've got a really good squeeze out all the way around the entire sink. So I've got good pressure everywhere and it's pulling everything down. I put the tape here for the very reason of what you're seeing with the squeeze out, so that all I got to do is run a straight edge razor around the outside edge and then pull the tape up and everything will come up and it'll be nice and clean. As you can see, I got my faucet in. I really like it. So the way this works is I've got hot and cold running water. It also has a shower head that will move out of it. This faucet right here is for the reverse osmosis. And so I've got hot and cold running water through here as a wand. I've got hot and cold running water through here. This is actually the actual faucet itself. This is the reverse osmosis, and everything on this thing is adjustable. So I really like it. I have tested it. It works. I have put my drain in. And so with that, now that this is in place and clamped down and pressed up, let's go ahead and go underneath and get everything connected underneath, because I do have a few things that I want to show you that I did under there. Let's go down below. Alright, so one of the things that I wanted to show you that I did is I do have my drain in, and it is right here, and it's ready to get connected up to here. I'm going to have to tighten that up. For some reason that loosened up on me, and that is not what's supposed to happen, but I'll get that tightened up. Here's my water lines. They go on the faucets back there. One of the things that I did want to show you that I added was my drain right here. Well, that came loose. I'm going to have to figure that out. This is the reverse osmosis water. Oh, no. This goes into here. Now I got it. So here is the connector for my RO. So I can go ahead and get that connected. That provides water to the RO system. I can put this on right here, and that provides cold water to the faucet. None of this is tightened down. I'm just bringing it together to show you how it works. And this is the hot water that goes to the hot water valve. So all I need to do is tighten those two fittings up, and everything will be good going into the sink. Now the only other thing I need to do is come back here, if I can show it real quick, and for some reason this came loose, but it goes right there. I don't know why this got loosened up, but all right. So I've got my drain connected right here. Comes around and goes back into there. I've got my reverse osmosis drain. I've got two fittings. I've got two shutoff valves. One primarily will feed water into this tank. When this tank gets full, I shut this one off, and that's that valve right there. And I shut that one off, and I turn the other one on, which is that one back there, and it feeds directly into the drain. One of the things that I found is this reverse osmosis stuff, when it's making RO water, is very inefficient. I don't like it, and so it is what it is. I'm going to have to figure it out, but that's why I put those, so that I could keep an eye on this, make sure that when it gets full, I can shut it off, turn it on, and it drains into my gray water tanks until I get this empty and can put it back in there again. I use that for cleaning and all that kind of stuff. So got it all set up. Everything's connected. I just got to figure out why this came loose, get that tightened up, and I'll be good to go. I need to tighten up my connections on my valves back there as well. and get those done. But ladies and gentlemen, the sink is in. Other than a few minor connection issues, I'll get those done. So for today, I think I'm going to call it a wrap and close it out. But I'll be back because we got a lot more to do to finish this kitchen up. I need to get those backsplashes in, and I've got some other surprises coming along that I want to get done. But at this point, I have built my kitchen. Drawers are in, microwave is in, stove is in. It's all permanent. I'm showing you my backsplashes going all the way around. I've got some interesting ideas for the trim work above those. When I route out the backsplash behind the stove for the window, I'm going to do a interesting little I'm going to do a window frame around the window, but I'm also going to try to do something interesting behind the stove there to support functionality for the stove. But so right now, I think we're going to call it for today, not for this episode, and we'll be back. Well, I'm back, everyone. It's Monday. It's after work. I was going to attempt what I'm doing right now at lunch, but I decided against that because I couldn't afford to be in a position where I ran out of time and I wasn't done. So, well, let me show you what I got going on, and we're going to get some things done. So I've got all of my backsplash panels and my laminate. I've got the contact cement on it. I just finished that up. I'm waiting for that to dry. I need to make sure that, particularly on the wood, that it is extremely dry, because I'm going to be putting my pneumatic stapler on it, and I don't want glue to be coming off of the panels onto my staple gun. So this is some of the pieces. There is the backsplash for behind the stove, the laminate part of it. And then I've got some stacked up over here on the stairs as well, trying to get them to dry. I'm not going to keep belaboring the point while we're watching glue dry. So as soon as the glue is dry, I'll be back and we'll start getting this stuff knocked out and put it in. All right, guys, I'm back. Glue dried. It took longer than I expected because it's a little bit cooler out there, but I want to show you this. It is dry to the touch on both the laminate and the back panel. I've got these here to keep this from accidentally touching that before I'm ready. What I plan on doing, just so you're aware, is I'm going to do this one first, then I'm going to do this one, and I put this to get the wire away from the wall. I will also be putting these in, but I did that so that I could slip that in and not have anything touching or have any obstructions. I'm going to do this one, I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do that one, and that one, and that one, and then come back and do the big piece here and then close out with that piece over there. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to make sure that I have a good process and flow before I tackle that big piece. So the big one's going to be a challenge. I want to make sure I get it right before I try it. One thing that I do want to tell you is a lot of this is going to have trim over it. I'm OCD perfectionist, and I want to make sure that all my seams line up and I wouldn't need any trim. But if they don't come out quite right, it doesn't matter, because the way that I have this planned out, everything is going to be covered, all the seams. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. I got my staple gun with a fresh clip in, ready to rock and roll. I got my J-roller to press everything in. So I'm going to do the first one in real time and then put it on time lapse and run through getting the rest of them installed. So let's get after it. So at this point, I've got this panel in place. I want to make sure that it's tight up against my cedar. I'm going to grab my staple gun, make sure that it's tight against the countertop down there. Put some staples in. I want to make sure that it is positively affixed to the wall without any issues. Oh, that one's going to give me a problem. Let's try it a different way. All right, so the plywood is affixed to the wall, so now I am going to put these in, and then I am going to come in here, try to hold this down to the countertop, bring it in, touch it up against the cedar, and then close it in like that. Bring out this piece, close it in like that. Bring out this piece, close it in like that. Bring out this piece, bring it up to the corner. And now I get my J-roller out. Push everything in nice and tight. Making sure that everything is positively affixed. I'm hearing some crackling sounds, which typically indicate there might be some air bubbles. So I'm trying to do this until I don't hear that anymore. At this point, I think that one's good. Everything is tight. Nothing is moving. I got one done. All right, that one is done. That's the way it works. So in the interest of time, let's go on time lapse, and let's see how much of this we can get done and how quick we can do it. Backsplash is in. I need to cut out my window. This one's in, that one's in, that one's in. I made a huge mistake when I did that one. I got ahead of myself. I forgot to staple the plywood to the wall, so I had to go through the laminate to do it. But it it worked. It didn't shatter everything, so fair enough, good to go. But I really screwed that up. I got ahead of myself. But as you can see, the seams, they're not quite perfect. And that's because all of this was cut with a skill saw, guys. So I'm not really worried about that. I put this in because, as you can see, the wall was not straight, and I didn't want this falling behind there, so I put that in. This is actually a cutoff from when I did my countertops. So I put that in to hold everything up above the counter to make sure that it was in line with the counter. Came over here. This one concerned me, but it was pretty easy because of the wire. But got that one in. Come over here Got that one in on that side of the window. Got that one in. Got that one in. I've got this one set up to match the cedar pillar that I plan on putting over here when I get this all finished up, but it's already set and measured, so that's all good to go. So at this point, backsplash is in. I just got to cut out my window. In case anyone's wondering, how the hell am I going to know where I need to cut out at? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside through the... no, I'm not, because I didn't open it before I did this. So I'm going to have to figure out where the center of that window is, drill a hole, and then use my router and route it out from there. I really screwed that up. There's another one. Always got to think ahead. I wasn't thinking ahead on that. I should have measured it out or something and got me some at least rough marks to know where I was going, but I didn't do it. Trying to get everything done too fast. But backsplash is in, so now I'm going to move on to something else. I'll be right back and show you what that looks like. Well, there it is, guys. This is what it's going to look like on the home stretch when I finally get everything done. The only thing that I need to do is frame out around my window. I need to get my upper cabinets in. I've got to put some insulation in across the top ceiling there and get the ceiling in on this side. Coming over here, I cleaned up the tape and all the silicone around the sink. I've got that all cleaned up. Backsplashes are in. Got the same brick pattern. This is what it's going to look like. So now that you see what the end result looks like, let's go back in time and I'll show you how I pulled all that together and got those that brick look on the walls. And I do want to point out too that, like, I think I had mentioned it earlier, but this cedar column looking thing right here on this side is going to be duplicated over here. And I want to point out that that particular piece of brickwork that is right there is just taped up. I don't have the paneling behind it or anything. I'm going to have my cedar that's going to come up and look just like this side right here, but I just wanted to see what the final look was going to be. Obviously, I need to clean up all my wiring and all of that kind of stuff, get my overhead cabinets in, get my lighting in, get my ceiling in. Those are the next steps, but right now, I have a functional kitchen even though I don't have a ceiling. Microwave is in, stove is in, sink is in, drain is in, everything is functional, everything is working. All I got to do is do some final finish work on it. So let's go back in time. Let me show you how I pulled this together, and we'll call it a wrap. All right, now that you've seen what it looks like when it's all done, let's go back through the steps and let me show you how I pulled it all together. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and put that piece in on the end wall there above the cabinet and show you how that works, and then we'll move on to the other stuff and bring it all together. So I'm going to shift this around and we're going to get that installed. Whether you realize it or not, this is actually foam panel. It's got an adhesive backing on the back of it. You can see right here how thick that is. It's really lightweight. I like the way that it looks. I hope that it endures. If it doesn't, then I'll change it. But I wanted the brick look, and Nick gave it to me. So at this point, I've got this panel. I've already cut it out so that it fits. And I'm going to now take the backing off and work on getting this installed. So let's see how that works. I'm probably going to do this a little bit at a time because I've never messed with this. I don't know how strong this glue is. This is my first time ever messing with this stuff. I can tell you right now from my fingers hitting the back of this, it seems pretty sticky. This piece has been through hell because I've been using it to test, measure, and evaluate how I want to do this. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pull this off because I don't know that this is going to be what I want it to be. I'll just have to be careful. If I can do Formica, I can do foam, right? So let's figure this out. Wow, this stuff is sticky. Holy cow. Sticky, sticky. Look at that, guys. It's sticky as hell. It's better than contact cement. All right, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to try to line up this corner right here and make sure that I have a good alignment with the backsplash and a good alignment with and I am coming up a little bit high over here, so I want to pull this down. I may wind up having to trim it a little bit, and then I just press it in. It's stuck to my reflective cup here. Don't want that. Don't want it to stick to this because I need to work in there. Nice. I am going to have to trim it, but the first piece is installed. I want to try something. I hope I don't screw up, but yep, it's not collapsing the foam. Putting this pressure on here, maybe I can get this to stick better. Nice. All right. I put me a brand new razor blade in my razor just for this purpose. Come down here, cut that. Oh crap. Yeah, this stuff sticks good, guys. Once it's stuck, it's stuck. This is going to be a lot of fun. Got to be careful with that. Nice. All right. So one piece is up. The other thing that I want to point out, these pieces are 27 by 27. Go figure, they're all metric. But 27 by 27. And the way that I have this calculated, 6-inch backsplash, 12 inches of brick, which I can actually get 2 runs out of each tile that I have, and I think I have 5 tiles. So I'm going to have more than enough to do the back of my cabinets with this stuff. I like this because I wanted the brick look, but I didn't want the weight, and this is very lightweight. And so it's going to give me a nice look, and it's going to have a a lightweight to it because I have a huge shower going in with ceramic tile. I've got 2 42-gallon water tanks. I've got a lot of wood in here, and so I'm trying to conserve weight. So right now what I need to do is I need to cut this piece. And the other thing that I want to do is I want to try to match the pattern of the bricks that are in the foam. So I'm going to cut a 12-inch piece out of the bottom of one of these so that it will match what I have going on right here. And we'll see how that works. So let me grab another one. All right, so I've got my other one over here. I want to try to figure out. Yeah, no, that's not it. I think I need to do it this way. That's not it either. I don't know that it's going to match up the way that I want it to, but that's fine. Let me see what the other side looks like. The other way, anyway. Think I like that better. So I'm going to cut a 12-inch piece off of the bottom. Right here. Let me make sure that my measurement is correct before I go cutting this thing, but from there to there, 12 inches, just exactly what I want. So come back here, 12 inches. Come back here, 12 inches. Mark me a line. Extend it all the way out because I'm going to cut it in half. And here is the beauty of working with foam brick. You can cut it with scissors. And that's what I'm cutting with. Cut. Move this out of the way. Save this for later. And now I've got this piece right here, so the next thing I need to do is cut it to length. And I am going to measure twice, cut once. So I need 24 5/8, which is exactly what my laminate and backsplash were, so I love it when a plan comes together. So 24 5/8 there, 24 5/8 there. Cut me a line.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Right there. Bring out my tile saw. Cut these bricks. Boom. Get that done. Before I pull that backing off, let's make sure it fits. It fits nicely. It looks nice. Let's get her done. Pull this up. Oh, by the way, I've already vacuumed and cleaned the walls so that there's no dust or anything like that on them. That would have been ugly, but yeah, I've already taken care of that. Oh, this stuff is sticky and it's really a pain in the ass. Which is a good thing because it's sticky, but we'll make sure that it's down where I want it to be. Stuck. I'm going to have to trim that right there, which is okay. Stuck. I've grabbed my brick trim saw. Put that down right there. Oh, it's stuck. Yep. Pull that out. Yeah, this stuff sticks good, guys. Once it's on there, it sticks. It takes a little bit. Try to get that out. I don't want to keep that in there. All right.
Hi, you are currently being recorded. Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Takes really good. I'm really happy with this. I was worried that it might be wanting to come off. But this is working really nice. I'm really happy with the glue on it. It doesn't seem to want to come off. All right. So I got one more piece to do in real time, and then I'm going to put the rest of it on time lapse. So I got that piece over there. I'm going to cut to fit in right there. Did I use the right piece? Yep, I did. All right. So I need a 12-inch by 17. Pull this piece over here that I took out of the way earlier. I'm going to do it just like this. Cut this one out. 12 by 17. Keep me honest, guys. Make sure I don't screw up my measurements. And I'm cutting from the wrong side. There we go. I've got a 12 mark there. I've got a 12 mark there. I've got a 17 mark here. And I've got a 17 mark here. All right. Make my lines. Grab my tile cutters. Boom. Tile cutters are out. Let's get her done. Boom. Ready to rock and roll. Pull this back off. Get behind all these cables. Come in here and line this up to the corner. Make sure that it's tight on the bottom. It's good to go. Knocking it out. Boom. Grab my J-roller. Roll this in. All right.
Hi, you are currently being recorded. Hi, you are currently being recorded.
So that's what it looks like with all of them in. I can't wait to trim out my window. Let me know what you think. Give me some comments. I like it. I like it a lot. It's durable. It's cleanable. It's lightweight. I think it's going to be a nice look to the bus, even if it is foam. It wasn't cheap, I'll tell you that, but it is foam. It is self-adhesive, and so that's what it's going to look like. From the line where you see the top of the the brick panels on this back wall where the window is, from there up is going to be my cabinet. So they're actually going to overlap that a little bit, which is what I intended anyway. And I think that's going to be a nice look. I can't wait to get it all finished. But that's that side. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and work on the other side. I've only got 2 pieces to put in. I got one there and one over here. I'm going to go ahead and knock those out. I can't do anything on that wall right there because I still got some work that I need to do over there before I can do that. But I'm going to go ahead and put these 2 pieces in and call it. And I appreciate your time. You saw what it looked like when it was all finished. So this is the process and the steps that it took to get there. So thank you for being here. Please like, please subscribe. Tell me what you think about this. And we'll be back soon with another exciting episode of Orion Homestead Project.